welcome. I am super duper pumped to be making slime today, some fluffy slime. And what's amazing about slime is it is an awesome opportunity to incorporate different subjects all into one. That is what's so cool about it. So I'm really pumped to be doing this special lesson for your special classes. So thank you for the invitation. Hopefully we'll get through this step by step and you'll have amazing fluffy slime at the end. Now, excuse me, we're going to pull in a little math. We're going to pull in a little science. We're definitely going to talk about some art because this is Artsy Rose. And we are going to talk about, we said math, science, art. We're going to even pull in a little PE into the action today. So here's the plan. We are going to need some glue, just some good old like Elmer's glue, Amazon Basics, whatever you guys have. This happens to be the Craft Smart Michaels brand because it was on sale. You are going to need some contact solution. I am going to be using the Bio True. I like this one the best just because I feel like it activates the best. I am also going to be using some Barbasol shaving cream. Now, it doesn't really matter on the shaving cream, but something about this Barbasol shaving cream just gives it a great texture. And then we need our food dyes, and then you can actually, if you can find them in stock, I can never find them in stock, but you can get these at Dollar Tree really cheap. Otherwise, just get them at the grocery store. And then some extra things that we're going to need: a bowl for mixing. And then I have this little cup that I'm going to put the contact solution in. And then we have some baking soda, just good old baking soda you find in the kitchen. And then, of course, I have some measuring spoons. Now, this is 1/4 of a teaspoon, but I actually only need half of that. So what would half of 1/4 be? 1/8. So I'm only going to fill this up half of the way to make about 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking soda. We don't want more than that. And then we have 1/4 of a cup measuring cup. This is how much glue we're going to put in our bowl. And we are also only going to use this for shaving cream, but we're going to overflow it because why not, right? And then just for fun, I have a straw and I have a stick. This I have found tongue depressors work better than craft sticks or like popsicle sticks. So if you can find the tongue depressors, those work great. So let's get everything measured out in a moment. But first, I want to talk about what's behind me over here. So this is really important when it comes to making your slime, okay? So we have 3 primary colors. Those 3 primary colors are going to be red, yellow, and blue, right? So red, yellow, and blue were the very first 3 colors that ever were. So we have red, yellow, and blue. Now, when you order food dye or when you get a box of food dye, typically it has green in it as well. Why do they only throw green as the only secondary color? I don't know. They should also put in orange and purple, but they don't. So let's talk about that. In order to make orange slime, there's going to be a trick to it, okay? We are going to want to mix red and yellow. So primary red, primary yellow is going to make secondary orange. But there's a trick. When you mix your red and your yellow, you're going to want to do more yellow because it's lighter, less red. And I know that's tricky. It doesn't look like it's yellow, but I promise it is. So there's a magic number today, and this is where math comes into play. We're going to say 5. 5 is our magic number. We do not want to exceed 5 drops of food dye, and that is total, not of each, but total, okay? So I'm going to do, if I were to make orange, I would do 4 yellow and only 1 red. It's really important. And they are not squirts. They are little scientific drops. Just pretend if you were to put too much in there, it would just explode everywhere, even though it won't, okay? So 4 yellow, 1 red is going to give you orange. All right, let's talk about if you wanted to make your own green. If I wanted to make my own green, it's going to be yellow and blue, right? And same thing, more of the yellow, less of the blue because yellow is lighter. So I would do 4 yellow and only 1 blue. 4 yellow, 1 blue is going to make a great like Nickelodeon slime, like that limey green, right? That's what it's going to give you. Now, let's say we want to make purple. Purple is very, very different, okay? Purple can be tricky because red and blue are almost the same darkness. Like one's not necessarily lighter than the other. Red might be a little bit lighter. So here's what you want to do. Start with 1 drop of red and 1 drop of blue. Try to keep the blue drop a little smaller if you can. It's so tricky, okay? But you're gonna mix that up really, really good in your bowl. And by doing that, by only putting 1 and 1, you're gonna kind of have some wiggle room to play around. So once you get it all mixed up, if it looks a little too blue, add more red. If it looks a little too reddish, add more blue. And eventually you'll get to just the sweet spot of purple, okay? But again, do not exceed 5 total drops. And I didn't even say why, but here's why. I don't know what's in this stuff because this is how we dye our icing when we're decorating cakes. But whatever is in it, if you put too much of this, your goo that's in your bowl will just stay goo. It will never activate it. It doesn't matter how much of this you put in, it will not activate, okay? Now, let's talk about, so we talked about how to get orange, how to get our own green, not the green that's in the bottle, and how to get purple. Another like really popular color is going to be a bluish green, right? So turquoise is a really fun color. It's going to be the same rules as purple. You're going to want to do 1 green, 1 blue, mix them up really, really, really good. See what you need. Do you need a little more blue or do you need a little bit more green? Add that in, mix it up really good. So that is how you make turquoise. Just start with 1 of each and then add in whichever one you need a little bit more of. Now, question. My glue is white. Can I have red slime? No, I can't because red and white makes pink, right? So red and white makes pink. I cannot have pink slime. So that means I cannot have red slime. I'm only going to have pink slime. Even if I put 5 drops of this in, it's still going to be a really dark pink, okay? But that's okay. That's okay. We don't have to have red slime today. Now, let's go ahead and start measuring. Now that we've talked about, oh, actually, I almost forgot. Complementary colors. That's these over here. Complementary colors are colors that are across from each other on the color wheel. So red and green are across from each other on the color wheel, correct? That means they are complementary colors. They look really great next to each other. But if I mix red and green together and I get just the right amounts of each, I will wind up with brown, okay? So we got to think about that when we are making our slime. So red and green is going to make brown. Now, another set of complementary colors is yellow and purple. Yellow and purple are across from each other on the color wheel. They look great next to each other. I can use them to darken each other. That's a fun little fact. But if I put just the right amounts of both of these, I'm going to wind up with brown. And last but not least, blue and orange are complementary colors. Go Thunder, right? Go Thunder. But if I put just the right amount of each in my bowl, I will have brown. Nothing wrong with brown. I have brown eyes and brown hair, but I might not want poo slime, right? Might not want poo slime. So keep that in mind when you are mixing your colors. And if you're not really sure, then, just rethink back to this conversation. If I mix this and this, I'm going to get yada yada. Okay. So Now we can finally start with the fun stuff. So we're going to start putting our ingredients into our bowl. We'll revisit this conversation back here, and then we'll get going. Okay. So I'm thinking I need to move you guys so that you can see what's going on. I'm hoping that I can just lower this tripod. So we're going to loosen this. We're going to tilt this down. Ooh, sorry for shaking you guys. All right, now, oh, well, that's not gonna work, is it? Can't see my head. So let's try this again. Okay, perfect. I'm a little cut off, but that's okay. So we've got our bowl, we've got our measuring cup, okay? And what we're gonna do is we are going to carefully put our glue into our measuring cup. Now notice I don't completely open my glue bottle, and that is so I don't overflow, okay? So I'm gonna put this here, maybe even have a friend hold your measuring cup for you if you need it while you do the squeezing of the glue bottle. And then, there we go. And then you can hold the friend's measuring cup while they squeeze the glue bottle. So we're gonna take this glue, it's full to the top, but not overflowing. We're gonna use our tongue depressor. We're gonna scrape this in there, just like so. And now we've got our glue in the bowl, okay? No fingers until I say. All right, next we have our baking soda, okay? And we have our, remember this was 1/4 of a teaspoon, but we only need 1/8 of a teaspoon. So that means we're only gonna fill this up halfway. And if you can just do the half like that, that would be super helpful. Can you guys even see that? There we go. So I'm gonna take this, sprinkle it over the top. Put that over there. Now, we're gonna mix this up. What is so cool about baking soda, this is, I mean, there's lots of science involved with slime, but the cool thing about baking soda is it connects to all the chemical bonds that are gonna be happening in this bowl, the baking soda does, and it creates elasticity. Elasticity is when something stretches and then it goes back to its shape. So elasticity, it's a fun word to say. You guys can say it. So it's when something stretches and it goes back into its shape, okay? So we're gonna mix this up really good. It's hard to tell, did I get it mixed or not? Because they're both white, but we're just gonna mix it up like this really, really good, okay? Next, oh, you know what we should have already done? We should have already had this measured out. So you're gonna want about a tablespoon of this. I did not grab a tablespoon because I know what that is in this cup because I've done it so many times. So I'm filling up my little cup. There we go. So I've got a tablespoon in here. I'm going to set this aside. I don't need it right now. Be very, very careful that you do not knock this off the table. This stuff is like liquid gold. It's kind of expensive. So just keep it away from where you're mixing, okay? Now we are going to figure out what kind of slime color do we want. So we talked, if I just put red in here, I'm gonna have pink. If I just do 1 or 2 drops, it'll be a light pink. If I do up to 5 drops, it'll be a darker pink. We talked about how this is actually yellow. It has a yellow lid, okay? And how to make orange. So 4 yellow, 1 red makes orange. We talked about how to make our own lime green, 4 yellow, 1 green. We talked about how to make purple. We said 1 and 1, mix it up really, really good, and then see which one I need a little bit more of. Now, shaving cream is also white. So whatever color is in our bowl, it is gonna get lighter when we add in our shaving cream. So think about that if you're doing like a really light blue or a really light green or a really light pink. Don't make it super duper light because you're gonna add more white, and when we add more white, it's gonna lighten it. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with the lime green. Now let me show you guys. It is a baby drop. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so like I said, super, super baby drops. We are not squirting. We are definitely not squirting. Oh, little disclaimer. If you use blue in your slime, like just blue by itself or turquoise, you will probably have blue hands when you're done playing with your slime. But it'll wash off. You just got to wash your hands a couple times and it'll wash off. But that is just a little disclaimer, okay? Also, real quick, let's hit time out and talk real fast. When you are playing with your slime at home, you have to be responsible with it. So, wherever your big person says that you can play with it, that is the only place you play with it. Not in the carpet, not in the car, not on the couch, not on your bed. So be responsible with your slime so that way you don't get in trouble and it doesn't get thrown away, right? So be extra responsible with your slime, please. Pinky promise. Okay. Also, vinegar. Vinegar deactivates slime, meaning it breaks it back down into a goo, and you can use a scrubby brush and get it right out. So vinegar can save you from getting grounded. Vinegar deactivates slime. All right, so keep that in mind too. So we added 4 yellows, and now we're gonna do our 1 green. So we unscrew the lid. We be very, very, very gentle and barely drip out 1 drop. There it went. Okay, so when we mix this up, it should, fingers crossed, give us a limey green. All right, so we're gonna mix this up. And, ooh, we've got a funky green, don't we? All right. So we have a very funky, almost like a fall green. There we go. So you got to get it really mixed. Mix, really scrape, 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 scrape. Okay, so we've got all of our color mixed in together. Now, we're gonna add in our shaving cream. The cool thing about this is it's gonna make your slime like double in size. So you're gonna feel like you have a lot more of it, right? To get your shavings cream to squirt out, you're just gonna push the top. Sometimes it's hard to hold it up in the air and push the top. So if you need to set it on the table and kind of push the top, then that's okay. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little squirt, turn, squirt, turn, squirt, turn, squirt, turn. By doing this, I'm able to fill the whole measuring cup, but this isn't quite enough, right? We gotta like add a little extra. Now, not a heaping pile, my friends, not a heaping mountain. Okay, we're gonna take our stick, we're gonna scrape, scrape, and then we're gonna take this and just clean out our measuring cup. Just like so. It's not all gonna come out, and that's okay. Then we take this, we hand it to our neighbor, okay? So now we have our shaving cream in there. Shaving cream is light and fluffy, the glue is thick and dense, and when you're trying to mix the 2 textures together, it's gonna be a little bit tricky, okay? So, but that's okay. We're just going to mix and mix and mix and mix and mix. There we go. And we're gonna keep mixing. And it's not completely mixed because whenever I scrape this, it looks darker. Parts of it look darker and parts of it look lighter, right? So I'm gonna keep mixing it. Hey, this almost matches my shirt color. I wasn't even trying to do that. That's funny. But you notice how it got a lot lighter once I added the shaving cream, right? Okay, here we go. So I'm just really scraping the sides, scraping the bottom, and making sure that it's all the same color. So like if I scrape the sides, the bottom, like the slime on the bottom of the bowl should look the same color as the slime on the top of the bowl. Okay. Try really, really hard, friends, to just not get this like all over the edges, because then where are you going to hold it, right? If your hands are big enough, you could hold it on the bottom, but if not, you may have to hold it, like that. Okay. So still, we are not touching it, okay? We are about to activate it. But activating our slime, there is an art to it, okay? So we only want to add a little bit of activator at a time, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do a little pour like that. The very first time you put activator in there and start stirring, you're going to get excited because it feels like you've made slime. And yes, we are starting to make slime, okay? But it is not slime. So leave your stick in the bowl and keep stirring, okay? Keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring. Just, oh, I'm shaking the table. Sorry, guys. Just like so, okay? Really scrape the sides, scrape the bottom as best as you can. Now, if it gets on your hands, like don't stress out about it. Hopefully there's a paper towel on the table, but if not, you will, it'll come off when you start playing with your slime, okay? So I added just a little bit more and I'm still stirring and it's getting really hard to stir. It's a lot thicker. It's a lot harder to stir. My bowl is starting to start to come clean, but it's still not quite ready, although it is very close. So the next thing we're going to do is one more little pour. Oop, that was kind of a big pour. If you get too much, guys, you can like pour it back into your cup. Okay, so you can get it like to go back in your cup before you continue stirring it. So I'm going to stir, stir, stir. Oop, got it on my thumb. Really scrape those sides. And when this happens, don't add any more activator. This means you have plenty of activator and we need to just let it set for a minute and do its cool science thing that it does in your bowl. So we need to give it a moment to let it bond together while everybody else is getting their slime to bond together as well. So like I said, when it turns into a clump of slime stuck to your stick and not in your bowl, set it back in there and just let it be. This is the hardest part, okay, is just letting it be for a minute. So I still have plenty of activator left in there, which is good because I'm going to use it for my fingers. Now, little kind of fun fact. Slime likes to stick to hot hands. So if your hands are really, really warm, slime is probably going to stick to you. If you play with slime and you get so frustrated all the time because it's always stuck on you, your hands might be too hot. My hands are always cold, so I don't ever have this problem. But kids usually have really warm hands, okay? Also, if your skin is really dry, this is the time of the year where our skin starts to get dried out, especially like between our fingers, our palms, our the underside of our knuckles, like all the skin gets really dry. Slime likes to stick to dry skin. So at home, we can hold on to something cold for a minute, like grab an ice pack, right, out of the freezer and get our hands cold. We can put lotion on our hands so that we don't have dry skin, okay? So those are some things you can do at home to kind of help the slime not stick to you. But for now, we still have a little bit of activator left in our bowl. So there's a trick to finish activating our slime and getting all the sticky out. We do not want any sticky in this. Sticky gets us in trouble, okay? So I'm going to dip my fingers into the container and I'm just going to rub my fingertips and I am only going to use my pinchers. So we are not going to grab a hold of our slime. We are only going to use our pinchers to play with the slime and get the sticky out of it. So I need to do that to my other hand as well. So I'm rubbing my fingers and I still have some left. So I need to hold on to this because I might need more. All right. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the slime off of our stick and we're just going to set it down. We don't need it anymore, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to take the edge of our slime, we're going to pull it up, poke it to the middle, pull it up, poke it to the middle. I'm going to keep working my way around the edge of the bowl. Pull it from the edge, poke to the middle. Pull from the edge, poke to the middle. Pull, poke, pull, poke. If you guys are quiet, you can hear that really satisfying sound. Let's see if we can put my mic up to it. that kind of suction cup sound, right? So we keep doing that all the way around the edge. And basically what it's doing is it's taking the sides and the bottom and it's moving it to the middle. Sides and the bottom, moving it to the middle. We're going to keep doing that until it doesn't stick to us anymore. If it's sticking to you, re-dip your fingers. If it's popping out of your bowl, hold it down with these fingertips while you pull up with the other fingertips, okay? Now, eventually, when we get all the sticky out of it by doing this, what we're going to do is we're going to pull our slime out and we're going to continue doing it, but just with our fingertips, still just our fingertips. I have not grabbed a hold of my slime yet, okay? Now, my slime is super stretchy because I did not overactivate it. It's so important that you guys do not overactivate your slime. If you do, it's just going to turn it into putty, which is fine. When I was a kid, we didn't have slime, we had putty. So I don't think slime was even a thing I'm pretty positive it was not a thing when I was a kid. So we keep doing this with just our fingertips until we get all the sticky out. Now, if I hold this and then pull slow, like it's going to stick to me, right? So the trick with slime is kind of fast movements. So what I mean by that, like when you're touching your slime, if you hold your hands on it, it could stick to you. But if you touch it quickly, like this, it will not stick to you. So that's another thing too. If you have slime stuck, like I have it on my fingernails, right? I take a little bit of slime and I can dab real fast and get it all off, okay? So that's a cool trick with slime too, is you just take a little bit of it, you dab really like quick, dab, 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 and you can get that slime to come right off of your skin, okay? So once you get your slime how you like it, then you guys can just play with that however you want to, okay? And if you start playing with it like this and it's like stuck to you, then hit pause, okay? Try to get it back in your bowl, grip a little off, dab yourself clean, and then maybe you might need to re-dip in the activator and kind of go back to the pinching and poking for a minute and then try playing with it, okay? So don't get frustrated if it's too sticky. Just have patience and remember these little tricks that I'm teaching you, okay? Now, let's try to blow a bubble, okay? So all right, what we're gonna do is I have a bendy straw. I am going to unbend my straw. I'm going to turn it into an L because we love slime, right? We're going to set our L. Oh, I should have got a different color straw so you could see better. So I'm going to set my L on top. I am not shoving it in there. I am just setting it on top. I'm going to take the slime. I'm going to take the slime and I'm going to fold it over the straw. So my straw is now stuck in the middle. Okay. Then I am going to squeeze the slime around that straw to make sure there's no air holes. Okay, so we just are making sure there's no air holes all the way around. Now there definitely is an air hole where the straw is going into the slime. I see holes, okay? So the trick is hold your fingers around it like that, okay? So I'm gonna hold my slime around my straw. Oop, shot a little bubble out. That might happen. Just pull your straw out, fold it or set it on top, fold it over, tuck it tight so there's no air holes. Hold the straw, the slime around the straw. There you go. Just like that. And you can keep doing that. If you have this space on your table, you can even dump it out, do it on the table. It's fine. Okay. All right. So let's try one more time just to show you guys one more time. And you don't have to like feed it down into your bowl. Don't do that because then we like lose all the air. that the shaving, like the shaving cream has created air in your slime, and that's part of why it is fluffy. Okay, so I'm gonna just set it on top. I'm gonna fold the slime over, okay? Just like that. I'm gonna make sure there's no air holes. I'm gonna hold the straw around the slime. There we go. So this is just a fun little thing. You guys, once you get the hang of it, you're gonna have some massive bubbles and it's so cool. Just definitely keep your slime over the table. Like we don't want it over carpet, over clothes, all of that. So be responsible, keep it over the table, but you can have fun making really big bubbles. All right. So that, my friends, is how you make fluffy slime and you blow bubbles. I love that you guys are watching, and hopefully your slime turns out just as great. I'd love to see pictures of you guys with your bubbles, and you know, give me some feedback. Was this a great video as far as like step by step, or what could I do better next time? But you guys have so much fun, and remember, be responsible with your slime, and vinegar will deactivate our slime, right? Vinegar will deactivate. So enjoy this slime that has elasticity. And oh, one more thing I almost forgot. If you are pulling your slime really fast, it's going to rip. And that has something to do with science as well. So we want to create less friction, right? So when we pull it really fast, that is breaking those bonds that the has formed within the slime from the baking soda and the glue and all the shaving cream and everything. So instead of going fast, we just want to pull very, very, very slow. And that will give you very stretchy slime, okay? And like I said, if it's like a little rippy, we might have overactivated a little at the beginning. That's why it's so important the very first time that bowl comes clean, that you want to quit adding activator and just wait. So even if you have activator left in your container, we don't add any more, okay? All right, and don't forget, cold hands and lotion will definitely help keep it from sticking to you so bad, okay? But thank you guys for watching, and have an amazing time and a great rest of your school year. Bye, guys.